Well, welcome. I'm Bernie Hayes, and today we're going to be talking about mostly women's health with Dr. Botanica on The Bernie Hayes Show. Well, welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes, and I must promise you, my guest is Dr. Botanica, and we'll be talking mostly about women's health. Doctor, welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Hayes. How you doing?
Good seeing you again.
Okay.
You have a new book out,
Yes, sir.
Stealing a Woman's Treasure.
Yeah, stealing a woman's treasure is your personal care slowly poisoning you. And what stimulated my interest in writing the book is over the years, as I've been a health practitioner and researcher, and I've come across many women who were challenged with hormonal imbalance, hysterectomy, fibroids, endometriosis, PCOS, which is polycystic ovarian syndrome, just a wide variety of conditions that actually relate to too much estrogen. And come to find out through research, through various medical doctors going all the way back to the 40s even, that estrogen is considered the angel of life and the angel of death. And so, estrogen can promote in the, promote life as far as childbirth, the development of the female anatomy, but too much estrogen can be detrimental.
Well, during menopause and after menopause and so forth, most women, a lot of women, some women count on estrogen for that balance. So they won't have hot flashes and other symptoms of that sort.
Exactly. When a woman goes into menopause and even postmenopause, you're talking about estrogen is very key. Yeah. But estrogen is only produced in spikes at that time. So this is where the need for HRT or hormone replacement therapy comes in. But the fact of the matter is, what's left out of the equation is the progesterone. And women today, based on research, are producing too much estrogen but not enough progesterone. And in between, there are other components called estradiol, estriol, and even testosterone, the balanced testosterone and DHEA. So we're dealing with today crisis is basically dealing with hormone hysteria. And women are challenged with this hormonal hysteria because they can't maintain balance because of the various influences of chemicals that actually creates the imbalance.
How will they know if they're getting the correct dose or should not be taking the dose at all?
Well, one of the things that I specialize in or I've been trained in is bioidentical hormone testing. And I'm one of the few wellness professionals within the city of St. Louis that specializes in bioidentical hormone testing through ZRT Laboratories, which is out of Oregon, using the state-of-the-art bioidentical hormone testing through nanotechnology, which very powerful microscopes and equipment that can actually see and read and measure what's really going on at a cellular level. And so you're looking at the range, So it's a variety of tests that are available.
Okay. How would one know that they're getting too much or too less estrogen? I mean,
by the bioidentical hormone testing. And,
by the testing itself.
By the testing itself through saliva.
I mean, do they have any symptoms, say, if they're irritable or
extra
happy?
As far as symptom is concerned, brain fog, chronic fatigue, irritability, a wide variety. So, hair falling out, even alopecia.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It says stealing a woman's treasure is your personal care slowly poisoning. So not only estrogen, but you're suggesting perhaps lipstick, face powder? makeup,
well,
those areas?
Yeah, unfortunately, with most of the cosmetics and body care that's out there contains petrochemicals.
Okay.
Okay, and these petrochemicals create what they call xenoestrogens. So whether it be in the lipstick, as you know, or you may not know, be aware of, that a lot of the cosmetics contain metallics that can cause not only hormonal imbalance, but various types of toxicity in the body, leading to other conditions. So yeah, lipstick, hair dyes, especially glues in the African American women, that also wreak havoc on the body. So women are just not aware of the things they're using on their face and their bodies, actually contributing to their condition.
So glues meaning perhaps hair pieces that are attached to their skull,
yes,
scalp.
Hair pieces when they're attaching the the hair, and and basically women have been wearing wigs and things like that for years, but they need to be more educated on the chemical influence on the body, so they can either make either give them an option to make a better choice or a safer choice.
Okay.
Yeah.
For those listening to us, lay out your credentials for us.
Well, I received an honorary PhD several years ago in human health. Also based on the thesis through the book I wrote, Medicine, back in 2005.
Okay, we'll talk about that later too. I want to. Yeah.
Yes, and I received a degree at the International College of Traditional Chinese Medicine in Albuquerque, New Mexico, in Chinese herbology. And then just through self-studying since I was 11 years old, and been in a very deep circle of intrigue, of course, like Dick Gregory, and various pioneers in the industry, because I've worked in the industry for about 26 years. Okay.
So holistic medicine is truly your profession.
Yes.
How can they reach you and get more information?
At 1-888.
It's his phone number, right?
Yes. 1-888
Okay.
453-5526. Okay. And of course, my website is DocBotanica, DocBotanica.com. And
have a website, email?
Email allhealthconcerns@yahoo.com.
All health concerns, that one word?
Yes.
All health concerns at yahoo.com.
At yahoo.com.
Good, good. Why did you? Why did this interest you? Why did you take up, they say, this subject?
Well, it was rather painful for me to constantly talk to women, in passing, or whether it be through an appointment. That they were challenged with these conditions. I can be in a restaurant and overhear women talking about the surgery that they're preparing for, or the pain that they're dealing with, and even my daughters, going through this thing called PMS. So, this is, and talking to other women from other countries like India and Asia, that they don't experience this. So I was wondering, why are our women, particularly African American women, challenged with these conditions? And so there was not enough information apparently circulated and conveyed to women. So I started conducting the research and started disseminating this information that is almost unheard of, in mainstream. Okay.
So this information is mostly in this latest book, Stealing a Woman's Treasure Is Your Personal Care Slowly Poisoning You?
Yes, and there's also a book on history, on public relations, on the influence. Matter of fact, did you know back in the 50s, doctors were paid to write articles that it was safe for pregnant women to even smoke?
Wow.
Yeah. So, it goes into
we learned a lot since then, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've progressed. I'm glad you took this field of study. This is wonderful. Dr. Botanica is my guest, and we're talking about a brand new book that he has and some other studies that we want you to be involved in. But on the table, these mugs are very important to me. Here's the Bernie Hayes Show mug. Here's the Harris Stowe State University mug. That's the Webster University mug. But let's get back to the Bernie Hayes Show mug. This is also a mug was brought to me by Judge Judy and George Draper, Justice Draper, from the first inaugural from President Obama. But this one, I like to see it in your home, and so would Reverend Larry Rice, along with his book, Through the Fire. And you can easily get it. And here's Reverend Larry Rice to tell you how.
For many years, Bernie Hayes has been on the front lines leading the charge for social justice. It's been a great privilege of mine to get to know Bernie personally And I want us, in celebration of all that Bernie has done, to share with you one of these very special Bernie Hayes mugs and a copy of a book, Through the Fires, which tells you about the battle for social justice at 1411 Locust, where gentrifiers came into the neighborhood and literally shut down the church at the New Life Evangelistic Center at 1411 Locust Street because they didn't want those kind of people in the neighborhood. Direct bigotry. Now, if you'll request this mug and share a gift of $25 or more, we'll send you this book, 328 pages that go into great detail on all the manipulating behind the scenes and on the scenes that took place in order for the city of St. Louis to consider it a nuisance because there were hurting and homeless people in the neighborhood. We would love to see a beloved community that when development takes place in a community, instead of the poor and the elderly and the homeless being pushed out, it's a beloved community that welcomes people from all over, regardless of their racial background or who they might be. They're people made in the image of God. Bernie Hayes has fought for that for years. And now we're teaming up with Bernie in a very special and powerful way. If you'll just call in our 421-302, or you can send your special gift and just say, please send me the Bernie Hayes mug. We will include in that Through the Fire, historical book that I've written on how the St. Louis gentrifiers tried to destroy a church because of its homeless congregations. You know, there's a common saying that if your neighbor's house on fire, yours in danger also. The bigotry, the hypocrisy in the city of St. Louis affects all of us. I thank God for Bernie, who has continued to point it out and root it out. Now we're teaming up with Bernie. When you request the Bernie Hayes mug and share a gift of $25 or more to New Life Evangelistic Center, I'll include my book, Through the Fire. We'd love to hear from you. Share now. P.O. Box 473, St. Louis, Missouri.
And welcome back. I'm Bernie Hayes. We have as our guest Dr. Botanica, and he is about holistic medicines and he's about women's health. The other flyer here, I see the Whole Fools, the Miseducation of the Health Nut by Dr. Botanica, featuring George Love. What's this about? Whole Fools, not foods, but Whole Fools.
Well, most people, are indoctrinated, and like in many things, about what health is. Mm-hmm. And so Whole Foods, pretty much educates the consumer on health literacy. Mm-hmm. And most people, unfortunately, like I say, they go in and they see something on television, an advertisement, they go out and buy it mm-hmm. without conducting any research. Like, for example, B vitamins like B1, thiamine, mm-hmm. would come from brown rice. Now it's made from a synthetic thiamine mononitrate. Wow. Or now vitamin C used to come from citrus. Now most of the vitamin C is produced by corn, which could be, GMO corn as ascorbic acid.
GMO meaning?
Genetically modified food.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
So you have this synthetic, or this one component of vitamin C, ascorbic acid, but it's not the full spectrum. So you're really cheating yourself and pretty much wasting money. And so there, a lot of the weight loss products, and like, for example, soy. And people don't have, soy is pretty much what we consider meatless deception, mm-hmm. because soy elevates estrogen. And that's another issue that's also in the former book, Stealing a Woman's Treasure, but in Whole Foods. A lot of people that are attempting to go vegan, they get into the soy, but not realizing soy elevates estrogen in both men and women, which is certainly not good for men.
Wow. Wow, okay. I saw online and in some other publications a picture of you and Dick Gregory. And here's your book, previous book, Medicine. Not medicine, but medicine.
Yeah.
And Dick Gregory quotes, the information in this book is revolutionary. Medicine should be placed next to everyone's Bible. And there's a pretty graphic photo on a cover of Medicine. The causes and solutions to diseases, malnutrition, and the medical sins that are killing the world. Tell us about that, Dr. Botanica.
The book actually came in to me in my dream in December 2004. I published the book April 2005, and I shared that with Dick. He thought it was phenomenal because a lot of conditions that people are challenged with, whether it be heart disease, autoimmune disease, the facts about the underlying cause are not thoroughly addressed. Though medication has its place, but you also are challenged with what they call iatrogenesis, drug-induced diseases. So if you're taking a medication, and then even if you're seeing 2 or 3 different doctors, whether it be a cardiologist, primary care physician, pulmonary doctor, urologist, or whatever, you may be on a multitude of prescription drugs. Now these drugs have its place. Mm-hmm. However, if they're combined, because of the molecular structure being foreign to the human physiology and not even found in nature, it's going to wreak havoc in one way or another. So you're treating a symptom, but again, you're looking at the adverse effects in the long run. So for example, if you're taking aspirin, well, aspirin is really derived from the European willow bark. Does the same thing, but you change the molecular structure and mm-hmm. it basically relieves the symptom. But medicine was more so, helping people to realize you need to bridge the gap between prescription drugs and the clinical nutrition, because clinical nutrition contains a molecular structure that works in harmony with nature and the physiology. But mm-hmm. when you change the molecular structure in a synthetic way, it may treat the symptom, but it's going to eventually wreak havoc on the body because it's totally foreign. So it also goes into history about the pioneers, Raymond Rife, who's outstanding with his discovery, developing actual microscope that could magnify 60,000 times back in the 30s. Uh-huh. So you look at a lot of the pioneers that most people are not familiar with: Linus Pauling, Paul Bragg, Bernard Jensen, Albertson Georgi, even Kashmir Funk, who created the vitamin, mm-hmm. Or who named the vitamin. But medicine is about bringing people to a higher level of consciousness to understand what health is and is not, and helping them to understand the human physiology has to be in line with nature in order to heal.
This is pretty deep.
Yeah.
How would does the book, the new book that we're going to talk about, Stealing a Woman's Treasure, is this all outlined what you've just described to us in the new book coming?
Yes. Well, as specifically toward women, mm-hmm. yeah, it's pointing out again that underlying cause mm-hmm. and helping them to get back into the natural. As you know, back in the 70s, 60s, 70s, women wore what they call the natural.
Yeah.
But because of public relations and different types of programming, they've taken on a new paradigm of what beauty actually is. Okay. So they're indulging in various types of cosmetics, even getting eyebrows sewed in now. Weaves sewed in or glued in, not really realizing, again, like medicine, there are adverse effects on your body. And particularly African American women, you're dealing with fibroids, discomfort, abdominal pain, and not realizing over time you're going to experience these conditions where it's so unbearable that you're going to end up having a hysterectomy, which 75% of hysterectomies have been shown to be unnecessary.
Wow.
Okay?
Wow.
And also one of the major parts in this book talks about the toxicity of sanitary napkins and mm-hmm. tampons, like toxic shock syndrome, because most commercial sanitary napkins are made from old newspaper and trash and dioxin. So it inflames the endometrial lining. It wreaks havoc on the entire reproductive system. But women are not told. I mean, because it's not, is no pun intended on the consumer, but it's about making money. They put these products
Sure.
on the shelf,
Yeah.
and women buy these products for their convenient because they're convenient, but they never think about what's actually in the material.
Yeah, they see this. They're all advertising on television, and they're brainwashed into thinking these are good for you.
Yeah, and there's a chapter in there called how advertising and public relations, alters the consciousness of the mind.
But then, so these chemicals are infiltrating the body and actually killing it.
Exactly.
Look, once again, how can we reach you and get more information?
I can be reached at 1-888
1-888
453-5526.
453-5526. Okay.
And of course, if I'm not available or somebody's not, I could leave a voicemail.
Sure. Okay.
Or shoot me an email, allhealthconcerns@yahoo.com.
Allhealthconcerns@yahoo.com.
And then the website, which is being constructed now, Doc Botanica, www.docbotanica.com.
Okay, and Dr. Botanica will have most of the information we're discussing here about stealing a woman's treasure. Is your personal care slowly poisoning you? This is not to frighten people. It's just to inform people, right?
It's about educating. You want to, as what the famous soup company used to say, our best customer is the educated consumer.
Sure.
So we want to become more educated and more informed about what we use. It's an investment in our body.
Okay.
So so if you're buying something that contains chemicals that comprise of different forms of toxicity, well, it's a poor investment in your body, and your body's going to wreak or be challenged with the repercussions of toxicity.
Okay.
Through the body.
I'd like to present this book to you from Reverend Larry Rice.
Thank you.
It's about the history of the New Life Evangelistic Center. It's at 1411 Locust Street, downtown St. Louis. We had to close that, but we're here in Overland now, and I want you to read the history of that, and I think you'll be very, very well informed. And we want you to know about what's going on here at New Life. Also, 1411 Locust Street is not open yet, but we're trying to reopen it, but we're now at 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And the same services that were provided downtown are still provided here. Still, the main concern is the homeless. And so we're feeding and clothing and so forth and providing as much care as we can for them. But we do need services from you. We need you to bring by some water. We need to bring by some hygienic items, such as shaving lotions and razors and maybe some of the things that we just mentioned here for women's health issues. But we're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. And we need your help and we need your support. And we thank you for all that you've given us. If you want to do it online, there's a tax-deductible way to do this now, an investment through MasterCard, Visa, American Express, or Discover Card at New Life Evangelistic Center, one word, newlifeevangelisticcenter.org. Back with our guests after this.
Hello, I'm Larry Rice, and I want to invite you to join me in moving into God's healing power of creation. We may be getting older, but we don't have to get bitter. We can get better as we take God's prescription, an invitation to move and experience His healing power by getting up out of the four walls and moving out into creation, beholding His wonders of creation, seeing evidence of the resurrection all around us from every seed that has popped out of the ground and brought forth His beauty and power at this time. Experience healing for your body, your mind, your spirit. Let Him lift the stress, the worry, the anxiety from you. I have to go into creation on a daily basis, beholding God's wonders, His beauty. Experience it. Take the prescription of time alone with God in the midst of His creation at this time and watch Him do exceedingly abundantly beyond what you can even stop and think. Yes, beyond what you can think about. Experience the beauty of His creation and healing for your soul.
We'll return to our guests after this Black History Moment. Today's subject, Dr. Julia Davis. In 1974, a branch of the St. Louis Public Library was named for a living person, Dr. Julia Davis. A newly built branch of the library was rededicated to Dr. Davis in 1993. She was 101 years old at the time and passed away just a few months later. Born in 1891, Julia Davis was educated in the St. Louis Public School system. She later became a teacher at some of the same schools she attended. One of her students was Chuck Berry, who spoke highly of her during her 100th birthday celebration held at the Central Branch Library downtown. Despite living in a community and country characterized by discrimination and segregation, she was taught to be proud of her heritage and dedicated her life to teaching others the same. Davis told the stories of African Americans in as many ways as she could, and her work became a model for researching and celebrating the lives and contributions of African Americans. In 1961, she established a fund at the St. Louis Public Library to begin buying books and literature about African Americans' contribution to culture. Dr. Julia Davis.
Now you can take NLEC TV anywhere
as you put the NLEC TV app on your iPhone or mobile device. NLEC TV is an innovative TV station that's on the cutting edge of community service. When you tune in to NLEC TV, you'll discover a television station that has been operated by previously homeless individuals who've received broadcast training through New Life Evangelistic Center's unique on-the-job training program. On NLEC TV, you'll discover wholesome family, community, renewable energy, and inspirational programming. For further information, call 314-436-2424 or go to nlecstl.org. That's nlecstl.org.
We have a wonderful author here on talking about women's health and holistic medicines. And Dr. Botanica, when can we get the book, the new book? What's the title of it?
A new book, Stealing a Woman's Treasure, will be available in the next, by September.
Okay,
September.
Let's show it there in September.
Yeah.
And how will one get the book?
They'll be able to contact, with that, they would still contact the toll-free number, 1-888-453-5526.
Well, you say that so fast. We can hardly write that down.
Yeah, 1-888-453-5526.
Okay.
Or visit the Doc Botanica website, drbotanica.com.
Okay, drbotanica.com. What do you really hope that the women who buy the book or watching this program will get from this?
Well, the first objective is for women to really start reading more and to become more conscious about what they consume, because vanity can have some serious side effects because they're not being mindful of what they're using. Okay. So and just helping them to get back into nature, get back into the natural state of health, the natural state of beauty. There are many things like coconut oil, olive oil. There's natural lotions out there in the health food industry. There's natural shampoos. There's organic hair dyes instead of the toxic hair dyes. There's natural lipstick that's chemical free. Natural nail polish remover without the toxic acrylic.
Wow.
Even the sanitary napkins, there's sanitary napkins that are organic cotton. You may not find that in the mainstream, so you have to go to a health food store or contact my source to acquire something like that.
Any references to men at all?
Exactly. Men, are not as challenged because the spectrum of conditions in relation to women. Prostate. Taking zinc. Zinc has been proven to be effective. Eating even raw pumpkin seeds, which contain zinc. A good, I would consider a quality prostate formula, because as we get older, we have prostate challenges. Vascular flow is very important. And just getting into even just eating, eating natural, not just natural eating, but being mindful of what you consume. And there's a variety of things that reduce the risk of prostate cancer and the risk of cardiovascular disease, particularly things like magnesium, which is considered a miracle mineral, ubiquinol, which is a reduced form of coenzyme 10, and cayenne pepper even, that promotes circulation, garlic that addresses issues with cholesterol, omega-3. So there's a variety of things out there, and if one were interested, you can go to the website at drbotanica.com.
drbotanica.com. Yeah. I just want to say thank you. This has been so informative, and I sincerely hope that the book will reach as many hands as you hope it will, as many as I hope it will, and that it save some lives.
Exactly.
Thank you for visiting with us, Dr. Botanica. Appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you, Mr. Hayes.
And I want to thank all of you for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center. We're 2428 Woodson Road in Overland, Missouri. We invite you to come by for a tour, especially in the energy-saving departments. And bring by some clothing, bring by some food, bring by some water, because all these things are needed here at the New Life Evangelistic Center to take care of the people that come in here seeking help. I'm Bernie Hayes. I want to say thank you so much for supporting my program, for supporting the New Life Evangelistic Center, for supporting Reverend Larry Rice and his staff, and for all the help that you do. But thank you so much. Continue to support the New Life Evangelistic Center. Have a good day.